Good to see you all again here at Wealthy Coins. The bull run in Shiba Inu has been validated by today's leak ship news. Without a doubt, the Shiba Inu community is satisfied with the ship's January performance. However, this month is almost over. Returning to the market is a feeling of uncertainty. However, as we near the end of the month, the market is once again filled with uncertainty, particularly in relation to its performance in February. Shiba Inu holders should brace themselves for the most significant impact on their portfolios from the forthcoming FOMC meeting. To better comprehend how the FOMC meeting impacts their portfolio, Shiba Inu holders should familiarize themselves with what it is. The modification of the federal fund rate is one of the main features of the meetings, which are held every 3 weeks. The latter represents the interest rate at which the Federal Reserve lends money to banks. In light of today's leak ship news, we will discuss the Shiba Inu bull run in this video. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more like it, subscribe to our channel and give us a thumbs up. To cut to the chase, the video is about to start. The federal fund rate is one tool the Federal Reserve utilizes to maintain economic stability. With a lower rate, borrowing money becomes more affordable, which improves liquidity and creates a more favorable environment for investment. Conversely, borrowing money becomes less attractive and investment becomes less likely when the rate is higher. As a component of its quantitative tightening policies, the Federal Reserve raised the federal fund rate during most of 2022 in an effort to reduce inflation. A positive rise was seen by Shiba Inu and the market as a whole following the most recent FOMC meeting. This is because, in contrast to the statement from last month when interest rates were raised by 0.75% or 75 basis points, the Federal Reserve only raised them by 0.5% or 50 basis points. Since the FFR was lower, investors thought the Fed was backing off its aggressive rate hike plans. Accompanying this were claims that the Federal Reserve had some success in its fight against inflation. The Federal Open Market Committee (FOMC) is expected to meet again between January 31st and February 1st. The Federal Reserve is rumored to be planning a 25 basis point increase to the FFR. This might lend credence to bullish attitude, leading to a resurgence of buying demand for the SHIB if it proves out to be accurate. If this were to happen, it would break over the 0.0000123 price level, which has been acting as resistance for the past several days. Investors in Shiba Inu can anticipate a price jump of up to 14% to the next Fibonacci resistance line if a rally materializes. A rate hike over that would mislead investors and cause Shiba Inu stock to drop again. If a 10% decline materializes, it will bring the price back down to or near its 200-day moving average. The market may respond in advance of the official release of the FOMC minutes on occasion. Some have hypothesized that this is due to the fact that those in influential positions are aware of the Fed's rate decision prior to its official announcement. Because of this, certain market players may get preferential treatment, enabling them to respond appropriately. Oddly enough, Shiba Inu's weighted sentiment metric did show a little increase over the past 2 days. This could indicate that market optimism is on the rise again. In light of the fact that market participants are currently predicting a 25 basis point increase, this does not prove that they will not anticipate another jump. Additionally, there has been a small drop in price volatility over the past several days. Nevertheless, there may be an additional spike soon. Reason being, greater trade activity could be sparked this week by the FOMC data. A comparable result is also shown via exchange flows. In recent days, there has been a marked decline in supply on exchanges, although the situation is exactly reversed when looking at supply outside of exchanges. Even if the FOMC opts for a steeper rate hike than expected, a bearish pivot can still occur within the allotted time. There will probably be more directional momentum now that the official data is out. Opportunities for short-term gains will present themselves to SHIB traders and investors in the succeeding trend. Over the last week, Benzinga looked into the future of many investors' favorite equities. With the tech-heavy Nasdaq at the forefront of market gains, the optimistic tone that began 2023 on Wall Street persisted this week. An increase of 2.47% was recorded by the S&P 500. On Friday, the Nasdaq closed the week up 4.32%, while the Dow Industrials rose 1.81%. Despite economists predicting a 2.6% increase, the U.S. Department of Commerce announced on Thursday that GDP climbed 2.9% in the fourth quarter. The Personal Consumption Expenditures Price Index increased by 5% in December, according to Friday's report from the Bureau of Economic Analysis. This was lower than the 5.5% growth in November and lower than the 5.5% gain that economists had predicted. Cryptocurrencies that are popular among memes include SHIB and Doge. In contrast to Doge, a cryptocurrency that started out as a joke in 2013 but has since amassed a large following, SHIB is an Ethereum blockchain token that is associated with the Shiba Inu project. Investing in either of them has a high degree of risk due to their extremely volatile prices. For a long time, Dogecoin was the only meme coin that people knew about. The combination of speculative investments and sudden price declines causes enormous rallies on a regular basis. From 2020 forward, the Shiba Inu currency has posed a threat. The idea is to make it look like Dogecoin. Compared to Dogecoin, Shiba Inu has made better progress during this period. This is understandable given that the initiative is in its infancy. In other words, the danger outweighs the reward. The Shiba Inu may have also failed or seen very little price increases, similar to other meme coins. When compared to Dogecoin in 2023, the Shiba Inu currency carries a greater risk but also offers a greater potential payoff. Shiba Inu may be a better Dogecoin option than the meme coins because they are seen as very hazardous investments. According to a high-ranking official at Cyber Capital, two of the most decentralized digital assets currently available are Dogecoin and Shiba Inu, two meme coins with a doctor-themed motif. The company's chief investment officer Justin Bonds informs his Twitter followers that Doge and SHIB are two of the 32 supposedly decentralized cryptocurrencies among the top 50. Only 32 of the 50 most popular coins may be considered truly decentralized. Despite decentralization's liminal nature, we may nevertheless draw a line and say yes or no. Bear in mind that there is no guarantee that what holds true in theory will hold in reality. After a strong start to the new year, the price of Shiba Inu is already cooling down. With a 60% increase since January 1st, the price of Shiba Inu has written a new chapter in its own story. The top Ethereum whales use Shiba Inu more than any other smart contract or token, according to whale statistics. In the wake of the Shibarium beta launch, there has been much conjecture around Shiba Inu. Shibarium may be released on Valentine's Day, February 14th, according to Satoshi Kusama, chief developer of Shiba Inu. Despite buying Shiba Inu during the Shibarium launch, whales will continue to sell ships until December. In the last 24 hours, the top Ethereum whales have bought more Shiba Inu smart contracts than any other. In the last day, the price of the ship has risen 2% to 0.12040. In the months to come, Shiba Inu may yet be able to make a significant ascent. Shiba Inu might see a surge in attention with the release of Shibarium. The new Layer 2 blockchains promise many improvements, such as faster transactions, more scalability, and less overall transaction costs. Additionally, Shibarium may allow for the burning of billions of tokens. Cryptocurrencies are subject to the same supply and demand laws as any other product. SHIB tokens will see a surge in price if their supply is drastically reduced while demand remains constant or even increases. People are still interested in SHIB since it was the third most viewed cryptocurrency last year, according to Finbold.